Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. In today's video, we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action. We are going to cover a couple of interesting metrics for Kaspa, as well as a couple of interesting charts and news for Kaspa. And of course, we are going to touch on the surface of Bitcoin charts as well as alts too. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not a financial advice. And now let's hop into Kaspa itself. So Kaspa is currently trading at 12 cents and is currently experiencing a little leg up of 0.1%. Market cap is currently trading at 2.9 billion USD, and 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 43.8 million USD. So if we are going to look at that chart over here on CoinGecko, that looks a bit boring and a bit bearish. However, I do believe that coming weeks are definitely going to be different for Kaspa, as well as months, of course. And I don't think we should be worried about this Kaspa's boring price action, because obviously the whole market is experiencing a bit of a pullback before the halving event, as BTC is experiencing its pullback on its own as well. So obviously that pulls all altcoins down too. So if we are going to look at that weekly chart over here for Kaspa, that's pretty much self-explanatory of what might happen in coming weeks, if not months, for Kaspa. Every single time Kaspa is getting out of that pennant, then we are experiencing a huge pump over here for Kaspa. So obviously the recent pumps up to 18 cents, that was obviously big. However, we are still inside of that pennant. And when we are going to leave, let's say in May, that is going to be a major pump, I believe, in coming weeks. And looking long term for Kaspa, this is how we should look at it. Of course, the price action is boring right now. However, the macro perspective on Kaspa is definitely bullish, and I do believe that is going to create a lot of millionaires too. And I would like to remind you that Hong Kong Web3 Festival is happening tomorrow. So there's going to be Kaspa reps over there and many other people that are big in crypto, people such as Cathie Wood. So as I was saying before, if Cathie Wood is going to open her eyes further towards Kaspa, etc., that is going to be very bullish. But of course, it doesn't only depend on Cathie Wood, because there are going to be many other people. So this is our chance over here for Kaspa. So the current reward is currently sitting at 123 Kaspas. The next reward is going to be 117 Kaspas, and the next reduction is scheduled in 4 hours. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to see huge profits in 4 hours. What I'm trying to get at over here is that the miners are getting their reward in terms of Kaspas reduced, and that obviously over the time is going to secure the network. And the hash rate is currently sitting at 214 petahash per second. So that is big, because not that long ago Kaspa's hash rate was trading below that 200 mark level, and that I believe is very big, because obviously that just shows how Kaspa's network is constantly being more and more secure and stable. And if we are going to examine addresses that are holding over 10,000 Kaspa, so let's see, on the 3rd of April we were sitting at 71,410 Kaspa new addresses, and at the moment we're sitting at 71,550, which means that this is a difference of 140 new addresses, aka people that are holding over 10,000 Kaspa. And if we are going to look at addresses that are holding over 100,000 Kaspa, on the 3rd of April we're sitting at 19,500, and today we're sitting at 19,520. So that's only 20 new wallets, but it's still something in these couple of days. And now let's finally have a look at the chart itself. So Kaspa is constantly hovering between that 0.618 and 0.786 Fibonacci zone, and I do believe that it's going to stay in here for a while, given the fact that we are before the halving event, and of course it might dip a bit lower too. It all depends how low BTC is going to go. However, given the fact that we are still before the halving, and historically BTC pulls back either before the halving, on the halving date, or a little bit post halving. However, the bigger picture over here for BTC and Kaspa is definitely bullish, and I wouldn't be surprised if BTC is going to see that retest of $59,000 zone. If Kaspa is going to lose that level of support, which is currently at 12 cents, then the next level would be around 11 cents. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is going to happen if BTC is going to revisit that 59K mark. Nevertheless, I do believe that these are great opportunities to scoop up more Kaspa before the huge pump is going to come on alts and BTC as well post halving, because we don't have a lot of time. BTC for a while found itself in that yellow zone, which stands for hodl area. However, we have dipped to that green zone, which is still cheap, and this is pretty much the area where we can still accumulate before the halving. So as I'm saying, these are still good times to purchase Kaspa, BTC, or whatever you guys believe. Not a financial advice, of course, because if we are going to zoom this out and if we are going to look at, let's say, next 12 months, that is going to be definitely different price over here for a BTC, and of course what comes with that different price for Kaspa, definitely much more bullish one. BTC is printing higher lows after higher lows. It just printed a lower high that suggests a contraction is ongoing before either resuming the uptrend or pull backing a bit lower. So definitely it can pull back a little bit lower. However, bigger picture is definitely bullish over here for BTC. Possible targets that we are experiencing over here are around 200 and 240,000 USD for BTC. So we can just imagine how much of money is going to flow into Kaspa if we are going to see BTC trading above 200,000 USD, which I believe is quite reasonable targets given effect ETFs, etc. And if we are going to look at altcoins from the perspective of accumulation phase, this is where we should be accumulating our Kaspa, etc. However, if we are going to look at the standpoint of where we are at right now, I don't think that this is the worst time to buy Kaspa. It's definitely better to buy Kaspa right now before we even smashed all-time highs on alts, rather than buying when alts are going to be, let's say, at 2 or 3 trillion USD. I don't think this is going to be a good idea to buy any Kaspa at that time, but of course I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice. And possible targets for alts, which I do believe are quite reasonable, so shout out to the Scalping Pro, are sitting at 4 trillion USD. So as I was saying before, a big of a portion, I believe, to my judgment, is going to flow into Kaspa, ICP, and obviously many other strong projects that are out there. And if we are going to look at alts from the perspective of reaching all-time highs or getting closer, we have reached that major level of resistance that leads us back to the previous cycles, and of course we got rejected. However, alts are printing a bullish pennant at the moment, and as we can see over here on the model, we are going to experience that breakout sooner rather than later, I believe. And if we are going to look at the zoomed out picture, then is that resistance that I was talking about. These are not all-time highs, however I do believe this is still bullish, and if we are going to smash that, and after that obviously the huge parabola for alts and the whole bull run is going to kick in at that time, I believe. And if we are going to look at the things from the perspective of Wall Street cheat sheet according to the Scalping Pro, so shout out again, we are leaving optimism area, and soon we are going to go towards a belief thrill and obviously euphoria. So we are still relatively early in that cycle, and I do believe that we do have to be patient. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching that quick Kaspa, BTC and alt updates. I hope that you have guys enjoyed it, and I wish you having a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.